Okay, so, moving on. Next item on the agenda is waste management contract review, and this is on the agenda so we can get a consensus from council based on our discussion in executive session if we would like the city attorney to review the contract. And it has to come from majority of council, not just one council.
So, look, we don't have the contract proposal yet, but when we get it, we don't want to delay it by bringing it to council to forward to the attorney. We want council to allow the committee to forward that information to the attorney. She won't look at it unless the majority, the consensus of council wants her to look at it. And I think it would be wise of us to have our city attorney look at the contract and make recommendations.
I agree with that.
Move it forward as far as this one.
And that's what I was looking for from council attorney, and move it forward to the city attorney to review it. So that's basically the conversation I was hoping to get tonight. Thank you, Carol.
But let me clarify.
Okay, please.
So you don't have the contract yet, but you're going to get it to me, and then when I get it, then I'll review it.
Yep.
Correct.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Good night.
Thanks, Carol. Appreciate you coming in.
I'm sorry. Do we have a potential litigation that you wanted to discuss last week that she couldn't since she was not here?
No, we need Sophia.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Okay. So, and the next item on the agenda, resolution number 2015-223. Approve the fiscal year 2015 emergency management preparedness plan.
We've participated in this emergency management grant for this will be the 5th year, and that's the last year that we will have the ability to participate. And this year, the $14,673 is what we were awarded. And Stephanie and I met with Rich to discuss this. And the 50%, our 50% share comes out of hours that we participate in, anything related to emergency management. So to date, it's not cost us any money. We don't expect that this will.
So, questions from council? So, and did you explain what this committee is going to be doing for? What is
We did. I don't know that it includes 16 cameras that will provide security from the front of City Hall to the police department, well, the EOC, back of the parking, and then it shoots across the street, which will be, we didn't know at the time, but it will be used for the portables that will be erected. And then it includes we're opening an in-station for the interview room, which we need to do. And then it includes long-term food storage. The packages are 30-year shelf life. And then there's a gun safe that goes up into the EOC if we activate it, and for any amount of time, the officers have to check their guns in. And then there'll be VHF radios, which is our source of communication during an event.
How many radios?
Well, we think we're gonna have $2,200 if things go as planned, and then the radios we can buy for like under $300.
Questions from council? Questions? What's council's pleasure? All right, great. Next item on the agenda is 15-004 resolution 2015-224 authorizing the surplus of the 2007 pickup.
I did too. Amy couldn't find it, I couldn't find it, so start from scratch, but we did use it up till about a month ago, and now we have no use for it, we like to get rid of it.
Questions or comments from council? Councilmember Steiger.
I feel that we should not surplus this truck at the time being right now, because it is not a total wreck. It's a decent looking vehicle. We have a situation where we only have one vehicle. Actually, we have two of them. We have the blue, I don't know what it's called, exactly the blue Ford. And then we've got the white truck, which is used by the building inspector and the code enforcement officer, and so we have two rigs for the front office, so Dodge needs a rig, and Lance needs a rig, or Shunky needs a rig, and we have the building inspector, we get one back on duty, and a code enforcement officer, we get one back on duty. We don't have monies right now to buy another vehicle. That vehicle, we don't put no miles on, just around town here, doing inspections and doing other things. That vehicle will be perfectly good shape, maybe a little TLC, and used for those uses at the time being. We can always surplus it later, but I'm against surplusing a vehicle and then going out here and looking around and trying to find another $30,000 rig or something at this point right now. I'm very hesitant in spending any money that isn't necessary.
So, I guess when we talked about this before, it was my understanding it was going to take a lot of money to put into that vehicle.
Well, right now, it doesn't run. We don't know what
It does or does not run?
does not.
Does not.
So we can't get it started, get it down to have any repairs done. I can't tell you exactly what repairs it needs.
Is this the Maroon that you see, Lieutenant?
Correct.
Isn't that one of the only two four-wheel drive vehicles that the city owns?
No, we have, that's one of three.
Further comments from council? Councilmember Walker.
Have we talked to Lance to see if they want it? I thought that came up before, and he said.
I thought they didn't want it. I thought they were under the impression they did not want to put the money into it, that we were better off to surplus and get rid of it. Councilmember Steiger, or first Councilmember Garberdine, then Councilmember
How many
Steiger.
miles are on that rig?
About 160,000.
Councilmember Steiger?
Well, it don't go no place. It's just used here in town. It runs fine when the day Massey parked it. So it can't be anything major. I mean, I bought a vehicle, what they said, the doors would fall off, a piece of junk, that never run again. I paid $750 for it, including tires and everything else. I put $1,000 on it, and I have driven the thing for 30,000 miles and never put another dime in it. So, for the time being, we can always surplus later. Right now, I would say we're keeping around, and we see how we end up with, as far as a building inspector, code enforcement officer. I mean, sure, maybe they want to drive around in like a little blue Ford or whatever, but, I mean, what they want and what we're going to give them sometimes are two different things.
Councilmember Page.
I guess, when I look at it, I'm looking at what would we get out of it in surplus. And it sounds like if it's not running, we probably wouldn't get much more than scrap value out of it, which is probably, $500 to $700. And then, if we send it to the auction, we gotta pay the percentage for having an option. And, then the next question is it taking up space that we don't have? Is there someplace it can be parked, and then a determination can be made as to whether it can be used? And if it can be used, I support keeping it. for the same reasons that Clint's stating, just to drive around town. It's not gonna, I understand why the police can't use it anymore, they can't pursue anyone in it. It's not, you know, it's not good enough to do that with anymore. But maybe just like Clint said, drive out and do an inspection, a building inspection or a business inspection. It might serve a purpose there, or even in the summertime when we have temporary help to go out and clean up the parks, it is another pickup to be able to put stuff in the back of and haul stuff in. But if we don't have room for it, then maybe we need to get rid of it.
So, and I guess one of my questions is, it says it's unsafe to operate. I mean, how much money does council want to put into it to have it as a vehicle to drive around town? Councilmember Beverly.
Does anyone know the approximate cost to get a diagnosis what's wrong with it? Start from there. And then if they say, you know, it's something major, then you can junk it. Or if they say it's, you know, let's say under $1,000. For this, that, and the other to do, like Rick says, a great idea to keep it for summer help or who have you what. Find out how much it would cost to repair it.
So, and have you checked in surplus value or anything? Have you been doing any checking around on that?
Well, when we started, it was, like Clint said, when Denamassy drove it and it was fine, there would have been a value to four-wheel drive, so we were thinking there was a value of around $3,500 or maybe $3,000. But you're right, Katie, we could get I don't know, I suppose you could get a diagnosis for a couple $100.
The average is about $150. Don't you have a shop contract where you take your cars?
Yes.
Can I ask where it is?
Well, we don't have a contract, but most of our business is with Eric down at Performance Exhaust.
Call him up and ask him, you know.
We can do that.
If you're pushing business left and right at him with your city vehicle, you know, ask him to, I can't imagine you more than $150, $175. That's the average cost of a diagnosis when your car is broken.
Right.
So
if that's what the council wants, I can do that.
Councilmember Kate?
Well, and I understand, for police purposes, it's not gonna be used for police purposes. John needs to get it off of his,
right, and it can go back
stock.
into the city.
Out of his pool stock of vehicles. And when he's saying unsafe for use, I would assume you're saying it's unsafe for police use,
Correct.
not general use. And so,
Turn it back over.
that's all. And I agree with, let's get it diagnosed, see what's wrong with it. If it's something simple to fix and something we can put to use without having to spend $30,000 on another vehicle, then why not?
1,000, what would everybody would agree, reasonable prices for any kind of repair to get it sound?
Well, I think we need to know what's
Just
wrong
give
with
it a
it.
diagnostic. I mean, is that what council pleasure is, to
Yeah.
have a diagnosis?
Get a diagnosis and then come back and let us know.
They hook it up to a machine.
And get it out of John's hands and throw it in his hands.
Once we figure out what's going on with it, then we can surplus that back to the city or whatever.
Okay,
So is that council's pleasure on the direction to move forward?
Yeah.
That's what I was.
I'll do that.
All right, great, thank you, John. Okay, next item on the agenda, Resolution 2015-225, authorizing the surplus of 11 laptop computers.
These computers go back 6-7 years. They've been out in storage. We should have got rid of them a long time ago. We haven't used any of them for 5 years.
Okay, questions from council? Councilmember Walker?
How are you disposing of them?
We went through a process, Carriac, and I can't say exactly how it is. I know we have to destroy the information on the computer, and we've done this in the past with these computers, but we never went through with it, so it has to meet our standards for law enforcement, and we can't leave any information on it.
So destroy the hard drives and then
Yes.
the rest of the stuff.
Right.
Councilmember Gardine, did you have a comment?
You're just gonna pull the hard drive
I guess that's what we do. I'm not,
and then have.
I know that it's
storage?
been approved, but it passes our industry standards.
Right. And then you just wanna give them to Jerry to scrap?
Crash, I guess, I don't know.
The e-cycle.
As long as the hard drives are removed,
Is there a cost associated with it? Usually get rid of the numbers,
No,
it's usually free.
Do you keep the
not
hard drive?
computers. So.
Yeah, there's a place in Bellevue, it's called P.C. Recycle, you take your computer there,
They can
they'll
also
pull the
have
hard drive
another
right out,
phone.
right in front of you, hand it back to you, they'll take your computer free of charge.
Yep, there's enough gold in them and they recycle.
And then what do you do with a hard drive?
Smash it with a hammer.
Burn it.
Further comments from council? Questions? What's council's pleasure?
Move forward.
Okay. All right, the next item on the agenda is resolution number 2015-226, authorizing execution of interlocal agreement with King County to use the electronic fingerprint capture.
this is a system that we already have in place. We have a machine in the station, and it's called Livescan, and it runs through AFIS, which is King County Automated Fingerprint Information System, and so this allows us the opportunity to have a mobile unit so that if, instead of bringing a person into the station, try to learn their identity, we have it in a portable unit, so we use it all the time. That's the only way we do fingerprints anymore, when they're needed, so I think it's a great option.
Questions from council?
Is there one in each car?
No. We'll have the one in the station and then hopefully the one mobile that would probably be checked out.
Whoever's on the show.
Right.
Take that, okay.
So is this renewing existing ILA?
We have an agreement for the one that we got, I think we've had it like 6 years. And, I don't know if it's renewing that same agreement. I know this is different because it includes a mobile device.
Well, I was trying to see if there was a cost associated with it.
There is no cost.
So it's free for us to be a part of it, and it's just $14.75 to $20 a person as needed?
The hard copy.
We don't do that, we don't do that anymore,
Um,
so it's a cost savings.
Oh, I see.
Further questions from council?
Use the same system for concealed weapons permit, license,
Yes,
and that goes to the county as well, as that goes to...
yes.
Okay, other questions from council? What's council's pleasure? Okay, thanks,
Thank
Tom.
you.
So, next item on the agenda is the appointment of the mayor. So, as you know, it's year-end, we start a whole new cycle every year. So, this is council's discussion, I don't know if council's had any conversations or who they have in mind to appoint for the mayor pro tem. And the council president should be, like, leading this discussion, not the mayor.
I think we can make it.
No, that's gonna make me council president again.
And we do that, well, we can make it both.
There we go.
Actually, John and Josh can just switch jobs, neither one of them are here.
There you go.
So, with council,
Oh, do you have to waive the council's rules of procedure?
Who,
To vote on.
All right.
who has not had mayor pro tem that are the senior council members? Have you?
Okay.
Shannon, have you?
No,
I
not
have the
me.
mayor pro tem, and Josh has it. That's my lifeline. Josh.
I need to pick my job. Councilmember Johnson.
Mayor pro tem. So, I mean, does he have to be here to accept, or are we gonna vote on these at our next council member meeting then?
Maybe we should put a point on.
Hallmark fixed the card for everything, we'll put it in the card.
I mean, does he want it?
That's what I mean,
With
I
council
don't have it
president,
here.
he didn't want it with council president, but when if he could step down from chair of the finance committee, he took it reluctantly, so. I don't think,
he'll wanna be the council president and the mayor.
no.
No.
I don't think
can't be both.
Yeah, and then he can be the king of the city,
Yeah.
give him a key.
And, Mayor Pro Tem, I think, is a lot less time consuming than council president. It's not that it takes a lot of time, but
Right.
So what John had to go on with this last year?
Yeah, I mean, when I went out of town, I got out of town for 100 years.
Actually,
she's
I
already
think
got
our
it
rules,
pretty soon. So.
There you go.
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
I'm going to DC for a week, that's my only time out of town.
I think our rules and procedures say that they can be mayor pro tem for like 2 years in a row, right? Or council president for 2 years in a row.
Amy, do you have this one?
I think there's some kind of rotation to it.
Yeah.
And John, this is John's second year, right? He was mayor pro tem. No,
James was prior year.
First year.
So I'm just looking for guidance from council, this is your discussion.
I know I wouldn't want something dumped on me without having.
Well, that's
to say.
what I'm concerned about,
I don't,
putting somebody in there that isn't here, you know, that.
Was it necessary that we do this tonight?
No, I don't know if you want to just wait and have, have the discussion and vote on it at the next meeting, that was my next question. Or part of
We actually can't take action right now.
So for the appointments, I think we have in the past.
That's just good consensus.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did
Here,
that.
here, right here.
As a consensus, of council. So, what does council want to do?
Does anybody here want it? I guess that's.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Right, I think we ought to give
I don't,
Josh the
I don't want it,
opportunity
but I'll
to,
do it if no one else wants it.
I think we ought to give Josh the opportunity to speak.
John Daisy is no.
He totally ignored that part.
Yeah.
Wonder why.
So Clinton, when was the last time you were mayor pro tem? A couple years.
It's been 4 years.
How do you feel about jumping on the bandwagon?
I'm awful busy.
You're busy that night? You're busy that night, that way?
I think that, I don't plan on running again, but I think we should get experience with some people that plan on being around a little bit. Unless somebody really ticks me off this year, then I might run again.
So we got 4 months to make you mad, right?
So Josh's term is up this year.
Yeah, and Josh is not running again.
Is John? No, he was.
No.
Here's the.
Josh said he would be okay with it.
It was
When-
Josh
when-
and,
You may read it.
Okay.
yeah.
Josh said he's
Okay,
okay with
wait.
being mayor.
I passed my phone.
Great.
You guys did that?
No, it's the mayor.
Oh, okay.
So Josh is okay with being mayor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
So I have to do, I move to waive council rules of procedure to appoint Councilmember Josh Putnam as Mayor Pro Tem for 2015.
A second.
any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, there you go. Next item on the agenda is appointment of the council president. Is there a workshop for the rest of the year?
Again, I feel this should be somebody with experience, and, I'm trying to look and translate.
Second.
Wow, that was fast. You win!
I think Clint would be really good.
Clint's busy that night. Yeah.
It's 26 night.
Well, he's
Busy places.
busy. I just.
I'll take it if nobody else wants it.
Well, I heard a nomination for Trent. Are you willing to
There was
accept?
no waiving of the rules.
Oh, I was.
Oh, okay, I
Improper
move,
waiving.
I move to waive council rules, to just appoint council member Ken Walker. No, 2014.
15.
It says 14.
I know, but that's wrong.
Okay, incorrect, 15.
Second.
Okay,
Now, are you willing to accept?
again, you win. There will be a.
What exactly is there to win?
Saturday, sorry. You get to
I
sit
get
next to.
I get the gavel and I can make Katie stop talking. Fine, I'll take it.
Good luck with that.
Only for that week.
Good luck.
All right, is there any further discussion on that? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
You don't have a say.
You already accepted.
We're gonna try.
So now, committee appointments. Okay,